Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Laryssa and Liz, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode 73. In this episode, Laryssa and I are going to talk about planning for Mother's Day, including why Mother's Day is an important holiday for jewelry businesses, how to make your plan, and how to stay consistent and follow through. We also want to tell you about our insider community. When you join, you'll have access to extended episodes full of tips that you can start implementing today and further resources about each topic we discuss. In the bonus content of this episode, we'll talk more about planning ahead to make the most of seasons and holidays. To get access to exclusive content as well as direct access to me and Laryssa, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com. Hey, Laryssa, let's get into it.
Let's talk about one of the biggest jewelry holidays and also one of the ones that people don't really pay attention to.
Totally. And I knew this was a big holiday. I feel like I keep seeing articles like every year about how much bigger it's getting. But thanks for pulling this actual stat. According to the National Retail Federation, in 2023, consumers were predicted to spend a total of $7.8 billion on jewelry.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
I couldn't find the actual number that was like a prediction, but I'm assuming it was somewhere in that ballpark.
Definitely. And also in the US, almost 88% of individuals celebrate Mother's Day, and they usually plan to buy their moms or mother figures something.
Yeah. So why not it be your jewelry?
Why not it be jewelry? And you know what? Moms want jewelry. So
Yes, so true.
it's so true. And it's such a nice, I mean, jewelry is already such like a meaningful thing to give somebody, and Mother's Day is such a meaningful celebration. So I think that that's why like jewelry is that natural connection.
Definitely.
I feel like we put so much focus on like Christmas and like Q4, but we forget about the smaller holidays throughout the year that could actually like really make your year so much stronger.
Yeah. So there's Mother's Day. What else would be considered like a smaller holiday?
I'd say Valentine's Day is another big one that people really kind of overlook. I think that it's often overlooked because I know a lot of people listening, designers listening, are thinking, oh, well, my client is a self-purchaser for the most part. But I love the angle that some brands take about like self-love and self-care and like treating yourself. So I think there's a lot you can do with Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah. One thing I hear from brands a lot is because a question I ask when I onboard people is like, in the past, what holidays have been revenue generating for you? And I'll hear, oh, like Mother's Day didn't really do anything for me or Valentine's Day, whatever. But when I dig a little deeper, I find out there was no real like marketing behind it. So it's not just that the holiday doesn't work for you, but maybe we need to be more intentional about promoting it.
Right. People aren't just going to necessarily come to you to buy something for Mother's Day. I mean, some people might, if they love your brand and they've been following along and they think, oh, that's a great gift for my mom, then they might. But, you know, unless you're actually promoting something, it's not going to be as successful. It's not just going to happen. I mean, the same with Christmas, the same with like the end of the year holidays. It's just not like that. So it's really important to make sure that you're promoting it. And actually, this morning I was looking sometimes I just go in my promotions folder and look at emails from brands. And I saw one from a jewelry brand and they were already talking about Mother's Day.
It's not too early.
It is not too early.
I think, well, you had a note here, like it often sneaks up on brands, and then the tendency is like, oh no, it's too late to even start talking about this, or my shipping deadlines aren't going to like match up with this timeline or something along those lines.
Right. So I think it's really important to like, you know, make sure if it's something that you do want to focus on, or you do want to do a little push for, you should start planning now. Because you really, I mean, you start talking about it at the end of March, probably, depending on deadlines of if things are customized or made to order and things like that. So you definitely want to start warming people up to the idea.
I think too, a lot of consumers like forget when Mother's Day is. And so they're often shopping last minute and they don't even know. So be the helpful reminder for them.
Yes, it's really, really helpful. I don't know when it is. I didn't look up the exact date of Mother's Day going into this podcast, even though I wrote the notes for
I
this.
believe it's May 12th.
May 12th. Yeah, it's
It's
usually
always
in
a
early May.
Sunday.
It's always a Sunday and it's usually in early May. So, yes, it is upcoming. The date is May 12th. And it's something that I think everyone should think about.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing also talking about like the self-purchasing uh take on these smaller holidays, moms need to treat themselves too.
Definitely. Definitely. I bought myself, when Milo was born, I bought an aquamarine charm because that's his birthstone, from Hilary Fink. And then I also bought, from Always Alita, I bought a aquamarine signet ring for myself. So, you know, I bought myself stuff. Moms can buy stuff for themselves.
Totally. They should buy stuff for themselves. That's what I think.
I think all women should buy their own jewelry. I
Yeah.
mean, it's nice to get gifts for sure, but I think you should take ownership and buy your own jewelry.
I think Gem Gossip's a good example of it because she has two little kids and she likes building her collection around like meaningful, symbols related to her children.
Definitely. I was not into birthstones or personalized jewelry or anything like that until I had a kid. I don't know if that's like a switch that's flipped when you have a child. But
I don't have children, but I did start liking more personalized jewelry, like more in my 30s. Who knows?
yeah,
Maybe we
maybe
just get more sentimental.
I think you get more sentimental. I think that's part of it. I think you're totally right. Although I've always been into like, not that my family had many diamonds or gemstones to give me, but I have made pieces throughout the years with like, pieces that have been passed down to me, like resizing them or like repurposing the stones and things like that. So I guess I've always been into sentimental things.
Mhm.
All right. So with any holiday, we're kind of just going to go over how to create a plan and how to stick with it. This is exactly what you're going to do in Q4 when we start talking about holiday planning again, but kind of, we want to talk through it because, even though Mother's Day is maybe a smaller holiday, it's still something that you need to think about planning for. So first and foremost is like understanding your final ship date, both for in-stock pieces and then also for customized or made to order pieces.
Yeah, I think I know it's February already, or when this comes out, it'll be March, but
It will
in
be,
the
yeah.
yeah, in the future, at the beginning of the year, you might want to plot all of those like shipping deadlines out so that you have them. You don't have to like constantly look them up like for every holiday.
Yes, that is the power of planning. And that's how you don't miss things like Valentine's Day, and things like that that come up quickly after the new year. Or that's how you don't miss anything. Running my own business, I understand the struggle of a business owner. Like you get caught up in a lot of things and then time is flying and then you don't have time to do the things that you want to do. But the way around that, the way to fix that problem is to sit down at the beginning of the year and make a plan
Absolutely, yeah. It also
and
saves
put
you
it all on the
time.
calendar.
Because how
It
many
saves
times do
you
you want to
time.
be going to like USPS.com or whatever and looking at their like shipping guidelines for holidays?
Oh my gosh. I mean, figuring out deadlines and stuff is like the tedious part. So once you have that, it should be fun, right?
Yeah.
Coming up with the idea behind it. But something else to think about is, can you offer gift cards to last minute shoppers?
Yeah,
So
and if you don't already offer gift cards and you have a Shopify store, it's very easy to make a digital gift card. So it might be something to think about.
this is something I've been wondering. I wonder if you have any thoughts on it, but do you find that brands that offer gift cards actually get people buying gift cards?
I do have one client I work with, and during the holidays, we would like put a little gift card reminder section literally in every single email campaign, and that ended up working and getting people to buy. I think we actually did a gift card promo at one point too for like last minute shoppers.
Nice. That's like the thing that kind of goes back to the point earlier of like you're not just going to make sales if you don't talk about your brand, or you're not going to make Mother's Day sales if you don't talk about Mother's Day. Um, Same with like people might not know you have a gift card. It might seem obvious to you, like, oh, it's in my product section, or oh, there's a section on my website. But if you're not talking about it, people aren't going to know.
The amount of repetition that we do for our clients, it's I get it. It's like exhausting to you. It's exhausting to the marketing team. You're like, do we really have to talk about this again? But your customers might be seeing it for the first time.
That's so true. So another thing to do as you're planning is choosing pieces you want to promote. So, depending on the holiday that you're thinking about, we're talking about Mother's Day right now. So birthstones, anything that's customized, anything that's engraved, something that's like everyday wear. Like I could imagine like a really great pair of hoop earrings would be a fun thing to, talk about or have in your product mix. Something to make moms feel good, loved, beautiful, or mother figures. I know, just to kind of be more inclusive, mother figures, um, anything to make them feel loved.
Yeah, and thinking in the past, if you do gifting, like what is the common price point where people are shopping for that? Because you want to keep that in mind as well.
That's such a good point. This email I saw was from earlier today about Mother's Day from a jewelry brand was a higher end brand, and the pieces they were promoting for Mother's Day were lower price point items. So you do want to think in the giftable price point range.
Yeah, I think sometimes people are hesitant to buy super luxe stuff as a gift unless they're 100% sure that person like wants the thing, you know?
Definitely. And so once you have like that final ship date and you have an idea of what you're going to be promoting, you're essentially creating a plan, like working backwards, and with the idea of starting pretty far in advance, probably like a month out at least, from that final ship date. Um, and a great first step is to create a gift guide, make it fun and easy to shop.
Yes, gift guides. Like, I think people think they're just overdone. But if you put your own spin on it, and obviously you're using your own products and you're thinking of a fun way to merchandise it, I don't think it could ever be overdone.
Definitely. And it could just be like a curated drop down on your menu, like a curated product section of like Mother's Day gift ideas. Okay, so once you've decided that you're doing this, you put your plan together, it's so important to stay consistent with the promotion. And this is where a lot of designers, I feel like, get just exhausted with it, or feel like they're being annoying, or feel like they're being too salesy, or feel like they're being too repetitive. But that type of consistency pays off. And I think Laryssa and I have seen it many, many, many times.
Consistency is everything.
And with promotions and with like promoting holidays and stuff, you also want to think about like what is your messaging for that and get really clear on it. So it's not just like, here are some gifts for Mother's Day. Maybe it's more so like a gift moms will love, or moms want jewelry, or like get something really personalized for your mom this holiday season. Like dig a little deeper than just like it's Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day.
Yeah, I mean, Liz and I were just talking before this call about the messaging for like a promotion I was trying to figure out. And at the end of the day, the question was like, why do people care about this? And you need to know that answer. You can't just be like, it doesn't matter. You need to know.
You need to know. Laryssa was telling me about this, and I was just like, wow, I don't even care. Why would anybody care? Why is anybody caring about this? There's so many moving pieces, you know? So asking that
And
question,
it
even though,
wasn't my idea.
yeah, no, it
Just
wasn't Laryssa's idea. Sometimes with clients, you have to figure out how to work with
yeah.
them.
I
Anyway,
think it's hard, like as a solopreneur, this is just a side note. Like, if you get excited about an idea, I love that. I love ideas. I love when people get excited about them, but you have to have your own filter for them also. So an idea only matters in your business if other people are also going to care about it.
and if it makes sense with the overall strategy,
Yes, and it isn't totally like left field from
out
the
of left
focus that you
field,
have right now. Yeah.
because then it's not going to be impactful. So getting clear on your messaging. I mean, we talked a little bit about planning and why it's so important for the whole year, and we have several episodes about planning. But with that, also like understanding like your why, like what your brand is, like what is your overall goal and goals for the year. And then every idea from there has to align with that and also matter to your end consumer. So there's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah. And if you have ideas, just put them in like a folder somewhere and maybe they can be relevant in the future, but not every idea has to be a reality.
And, with ideas too, I find that you need to make sure you have the time to execute it properly.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think people don't consider when they're like very enthusiastic idea people. It's like an idea is only as good as the execution of it.
So true. And you don't want it to fall flat. So make sure that you have the time to, you know, see it through. Anyway, that was a little aside over there, but um uh another note about like staying consistent on promotion is send more emails than you're comfortable with. One email is not going to do it. Two emails is probably not going to do it. You need to send like,
No.
weekly emails. And then like as you get closer to that ship date, you're sending even more emails, all with the same strong messaging.
Exactly. And please don't feel like you're being repetitive. Please.
No, no. And with this too, I think the most important thing that anybody could be doing with their marketing these days is aligning their email with their Instagram messaging, with their website messaging. So if you're promoting Mother's Day and I'm clicking through one of your emails, I want to get to your landing page, your homepage, and I want it to be the featured products for Mother's Day. I don't want to have to like look on your drop down or dig down or scroll through your website. Of course, I will do that because I love jewelry and I'm a marketer and I'm a savvy consumer, but most people will not.
No, so don't have like leftover holiday or Valentine's Day on there.
Oh my gosh, this is actually a good like PSA of make sure that all of your holiday messaging is off of your website because I went to a website this week and there was still like Happy New Year, save 10% or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
everybody needs to check their banners and check their pop-ups, check your welcome emails, check all the things that are automated that you haven't checked in a while.
Yes, so true.
Do that now. Pause the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, the last thing I want to say about this is think about direct outreach too, because there might be people who have mentioned wanting a customized piece in the past. Check in with those people, check into with, any client you think might be interested in a piece for Mother's Day. Direct outreach goes a very long way. All right. Are you planning for Mother's Day? Let us know. Visit successwithjewelry.com. We'd love to know what you're thinking, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. Thanks for being a part of the Success with Jewelry community.